also going to be chewing Old Faithful. Oh, sorry. Bubble yum. I love the way bubble yum smells. It smells very much like bubble gum. Okay, so I went to donate plasma about a week ago. I've never donated plasma before. It was my very first time. Even though it was my first time, I felt very confident. And for it to be my first experience, I would say it went very smooth. I'll tell you a little bit about the process that you have to do to get, every time you donate, because it kind of plays a part into the story, okay? Okay, so they have these monitors on each side, and these monitors all have the same questionnaire. It's a health questionnaire. You have to take the questionnaire every single time that you go up there. So you go, you scan your finger, whatever finger they took fingerprints of on your very first appointment, and you acknowledge that it is you taking the questionnaire, and then you proceed to take the questionnaire. It is pretty quick, and it's always the same questions. So you finish the questionnaire. Once you finish the questionnaire, you go around the corner and you line up for your vitals. When they're checking your vitals, they are checking your iron levels. They are checking your protein levels, and they are also checking your pulse. I don't know exactly. Oh, and your temperature. They also take your weight every single time. Why they do this, I don't know, but that's just their procedure. So anyway, the very first time everything went amazing. I donated. The donation was very quick. Well, for what I thought it was gonna be, it wasn't very painful. So it went great, like I said before. So that made me feel confident that the next time would be good. And I was actually eager to go the next time because, well, they were currently running a promotion, and you get the bulk of the money for the promotion at the very beginning, and it's Christmas time, so I thought this will be great to do things for Christmas with my family and just other things, So anyway, I believe you have to wait a full 24 hours before you can donate again. So that is what I did. I went and I dropped off the girls. I drove 1 hour to drop off the girls, and then I came back. It was like a 20-something minute drive. I came back, and then I sat there and I waited. It was pretty busy because it was a Sunday. system just needs me to take a new picture with nobody in the background. Mind you, I didn't even know there was anybody in the background the first time they took the picture, right? So they take my picture, then she says, wait here, I'm gonna get a manager to remove the hold on your account. I say, okay, I'm still very happy, very confident. She removes the hold. I take my questionnaire. Then I wait in the long line to do my vitals. Right? And I'm waiting. I get to the front. They say, your vitals, your questionnaire hasn't been approved, so you cannot take your vitals. I had waited 10 minutes. So then I go and I make another small line to speak to the nurse. He goes over the questionnaire with me, and there's a couple of questions that I answered no to, but I meant to answer yes, but their computer was glitching. It would get stuck when I would select an answer, so it didn't allow me to select the right answer. So I told him, the computer was glitching. He went ahead, he cleared those for me, and he said, okay, you can go to the front of the line. And I didn't really want to skip all those people because the lines were so incredibly long. So long. Like, I guess because it's Sunday and a lot of people don't work, a lot of people had the same idea, let's go and, donate plasma. So anyway, but I honestly didn't want to go and get back in the line again, right? At this point, I am a little bit frustrated because I had been thinking about some things that had happened the day prior, and I'm just frustrated with everything that's just been going on. I'm like, what else can go wrong at this point? I go to the vitals. They prick my finger, do my blood work, my little iron test. They took my temperature, everything's good. They put the blood pressure cuff on my arm, and it's just going, and I'm just sitting there just thinking, and she takes off the cuff, and clearly my pulse did not understand the assignment, because she says, unfortunately, your pulse is too high. You're gonna have to sit and wait 10 minutes. When she said that, my spirits dropped. I was like, you can't be freaking. Oh, I was so frustrated. But I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm sure when she takes it again, it will be fine. Because I wasn't nervous. I was just a little frustrated about all the issues I kept having. But I was not scared or nervous to donate. The 10 minutes pass by. She takes my blood pressure again. I look at her. She looks at me. And I can already tell. She goes, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it was 1 point too high. So you're not going to be able to do it. Whoa. I was so frustrated. I was like, are you serious? But at this point, they're only allowed to take your pulse or blood pressure, no pulse, twice in 1 day. After that, you have to come back another day. And I understood. So I left. And I was like, you know what? I don't know about you guys, but I am a very, very, very big believer that everything happens for a reason. And I told myself, you know what? Maybe it just was not your day. Maybe God was trying to save you from something today. So let's just go back and try another day, right? Okay. And that I did. I tried another day. And let me tell you about that day. Oh. It was 2 days later. I decided to give myself 2 days. But one thing, as soon as she gave me the second, I'm sorry, but your blood blood pressure was still too high. I already freaking knew it. It's like a switch went off in my brain. And I was like, no, why? Now, every time I have to come in here, it's gonna mess with me. I'm gonna be scared to fail. It's like it was a premonition, kinda. It's like I called it. Anyway, let's not jump ahead of ourselves, okay? Anyway, I believe it was a Tuesday. I told my husband that I want to go back, and he was working, but he said okay. So I rushed to get all the things done, all the things, to get dinner ready, get the girls ready, everything. I get to the center, the plasma center. It's pretty slow, so that was good. We do the exchange. He goes and he takes the girls. I sit and I wait. I go to the restroom first, and I, try to tell myself, like, it's okay. And also because you have to be really hydrated, so they say. So I was hydrating all day to prepare for this. So, I very much had to use the restroom. So I go to the restroom, try to calm myself down. And, tell myself, hey, it's good, you're okay. Like, you're gonna pass, like, it's okay. I wasn't scared of the donation itself, getting poked. I was just scared to fail, because I felt like, what a waste of time and effort to come all the way over here just to fail, Anyway, why did I go to the restroom? I'm in the restroom, I do my thing, and as I'm exiting the stall, a woman comes in and she starts talking about how she just got done donating, and that she heard like the tech that was doing her donation was, I believe, taking the needle out or putting it in. I don't recall what she said, but she said that the tech heard a pop and that she also heard it, and it was pretty loud. And the tech was kind of like concerned, so she was like, you know what, we're gonna cut your donation short. And but you're still gonna get paid for your donation. We're just gonna cut it short, okay? And the woman proceeds to say that it was one of the most painful things that she had ever felt after she felt a pop. And that just, like, I was calm. I was like zen, and hearing her say that, just like another switch went off, and I was like, no, why did I hear this? Why? No, it's gonna mess with me. So I'm just talking to myself, trying to calm myself down. Hey, no, stop, calm down. You're fine. You're gonna be fine, okay? Breathe, take it easy. You got this. You didn't come all this way for nothing. These are all things I was telling myself, Breathe in, breathe out. And I was breathing in and out. I was like, just trying to calm myself down. So anyway, I do my questionnaire. Everything is good. It's approved. I'm like, okay, that gives me a little bit of like ease. Like, okay, good. I proceed to the vitals line. It was only like 3 people in line. I was like, great. it's their job, but to me it's like a slap in the face. Do you know what all I had to do to get here today? What do you mean tomorrow? So anyway, I'm like, oh, but you know what? Again, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So I tell myself, you know what? If it did not happen today, it's because it just was not meant for you to donate today. You know, God was protecting you from something. All right. And I told myself, I'm gonna try one last time. If it is not meant to be for me, I will not pass, and I will just call it, you know, because I felt like it was divine protection, you know. So I talked to my sister, and my sister says, well, you know what? So you don't have to go out of your way to drop off the girls. I'll meet you there at the plasma donation center, and I'll wait outside with the girls. And I said, okay, thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate you. And sure enough, 2 days later, I decide to go. I eat a healthy breakfast. I hydrate. Sorry, those were my girls. I hydrate. I'm drinking water left and right. And I get there, and I sit there and I wait for my sister like 20 minutes, and I'm like, you know, trying to stay calm, trying not to think about anything, just like trying not to work myself up, right? So I go, I take the questionnaire again. The questionnaire, great. Wait, no, I actually go inside and I go to the restroom again. And I sit in the restroom for like 5 minutes, just sitting in the quiet, not scrolling my phone, nothing, just trying to calm myself down, you know. And you're probably looking at me like, girl, you're doing the most. It's not even that serious. But it just was to me at the moment, okay? So anyway, I calm myself down. I go, I take the questionnaire. The questionnaire is good. I breeze right through it because it is my 4th time taking this thing in less than a freaking week. I take the questionnaire. I'm like, okay, let me go get in line. It's not that long of a line. It's like 6 people in front of me. So I'm like, okay, good, you know. I'm feeling tiny butterflies, and I'm trying to crush those tiny butterflies. I'm like, no, don't do this to me right now. No, please. So I try to stay as calm as possible, right? My turn approaches. The guy says, next donor. And I'm like, that's mean. I clutch my purse. And I'm like, here we go. 3rd and last try, right? I sit down. I ask him, by any chance, can you do my pulse first and my finger break after? Maybe that'll help, because this is my 3rd time, my 3rd attempt at coming to try to donate. And then he says, no, I'm sorry, protocol is that we have to do everything in order. I say, okay. And just by reading his energy, that just set me off. I know, guys, I'm sorry. Everything keeps setting me off. It just, girl, I'm gonna chew another piece of gum. His energy was off. He was dry and kind of like over, like, I don't know, me, his job, the moment. He was just over it. y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay. If y'all could see my setup, y'all would understand because it's not very professional. Y'all are currently sitting on a stack of books. Anyway, so like I was saying, he was very dry. Anyway, he proceeds to do my vitals. He does my temperature, all the good stuff, right? And then he does my pulse. And my pulse was the highest it had ever been from any of the other times. It was 125, and it had to be between 50 to 100. But I'm telling you, his energy just threw me off, right? So I felt so defeated, but I felt so defeated because I was like, dang, I'm for sure not gonna be able to get this 125 lower. But I sat there and I waited. They didn't call me back after 10 minutes. They had me waiting, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this time and I'm gonna like go to the restroom, drink some water, have a little mint, just calm down, right? So after 30 minutes, I'm like still waiting here, and my sister's still waiting for me outside. So I asked, excuse me, can somebody do my pulse? And the girl that I asked, she seemed like she got bothered because I asked her. She was like, I mean, I can, but with kind of an attitude. And then she asked the guy who was supposed to do her retake, and he goes, I don't know. She goes, did you do it? And he goes, I don't know. So we're kind of like going back and forth. And the guy who had done my initial light check, he walks back in, and I said, no, it was over there. It was with him. So then they both look at him and they say, oh, it was you. You gotta do it. So he gets so red. Why? I don't know. I don't think that was embarrassing. It's red like a tomato. And he says, ma'am, you can come back up here. But before he called me back, I said in my brain, I talked to God, and I said, God, if this is not meant to be for me, I will not pass the second time. But if it is, help me bring my pulse down, please. Help me be calm. But if not, I will listen and I will not try again. Right? He takes my pulse. My pulse. Are you ready for this? Dun 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 dun. My pulse was 101. 1 point higher than what it had to be. And I was like, you know what? And he looks at me, sorry, you're just gonna have to try again tomorrow. I wanted to punch him in the face. I know I said I was understanding, but at this point I was just done, and especially with this freaking little negative energy. Like, you've been dry as heck to me this whole time, and now that you're telling me I'm sorry, I guess you gotta try again tomorrow, now you want to smile. I want to punch him in the face, but anyway. And I was like, you know what, God, message received. And I just didn't go again. And yeah, that was my story.